What's up guys, it's your boy Goblins, and today we're talking about Pokemon Go IVs. Now what exactly are IVs? IVs are individual values, and they've actually been around in the Pokemon games for quite a long time now. But as of recent, we found out that in Pokemon Go that it also considers these IVs as well. But in Pokemon Go it works a little bit differently. Pokemon in Pokemon Go overall have 3 hidden types of stats, which was recently discovered by the SILPHROAD because they data mine the game to see exactly what these stats are. The 3 stats that affect your gym battles and defending are attack, defense, and stamina. Stamina affects your HP, and of course attack and defense affect, well, attack and defense. Now obviously you can see the HP of your Pokemon, but you cannot see the attack and defense of that same Pokemon. This is why we call them hidden stats. They're completely hidden values that you should be aware of while playing Pokemon Go. So now that we know the main stats of Pokemon Go, let's talk about individual values, aka IVs. IVs are those 3 same stats, which is attack, defense, and HP, that stack on top of the base stat of the species of Pokemon that you catch, that are completely random on every single Pokemon. So depending on RNG, when you catch a Pokemon or hatch a Pokemon, it could have really good IVs or really low IVs. In total, these IVs only account for approximately 10% difference than Pokemon without IVs, but in the end game of Pokemon Go, it'll probably be very, very helpful. So for example, if we take a Vaporeon against another Vaporeon, one having no IVs and one having all 15 IVs on every stat, the one with 15, 15, 15 on each hidden stat will most likely win between the two. But to achieve 100% IV on one single Pokemon is very rare, but if you get it, then it's definitely worth it. Keep that Pokemon powered up as much as you possibly can, use that Stardust as much as you can, and get it to your top tier Pokemon. So that all probably sounds kind of confusing, but to sum it up very simply, you can get 0 to 15 points in attack, 0 to 15 points in defense, and 0 to 15 points in stamina, all completely random and completely based RNG as you catch a Pokemon or hatch a Pokemon. More often than not, you're going to have IVs, for example, that are, let's say, 13 attack, 5 defense, and 8 stamina, or any one of those numbers really mixed in. Now to calculate these IVs, I'm going to drop a link in the description for you guys. You guys can use Pokey Assistant, and another one that I found was really cool was actually pogoprofiles.com. That was a really cool one as well. So with the Pokey Assistant IV calculator, that's the one I've been using the most. It gives you the absolute best of IVs you can get with a certain Pokemon, and the absolute worst you can get for IVs with a certain Pokemon. And if you power it up, it'll actually slim down the results for a certain Pokemon that you're putting in there. All you do is punch in your Pokemon name, the CP, the HP, the dust it costs to power it up, and if you have powered it up or not, in Pokey Assistant. And it'll tell you those exact stats. Otherwise, if you take the opportunity to log into Pogo Profiles, it shows you an entire list of your entire trainer card, all of your Pokemon caught and currently available, and shows their IV percentage. So for example, when I go to my IV percentage, I can see I have a Magnemite that has 98% perfection when it comes to IVs. And as you guys can see, he's got 15 attack, 15 defense, and 14 stamina for those randomized individual values. So that's a Magnemite I'm going to evolve and most likely keep. Or even my Voltorb, which is also at 98%, Hypno at 96%, and so on and so forth. Once again, I just discovered this website today, and it's been awesome so far. And that is everything you need to know about IVs. So now that we've discovered that IVs are more important than anything, if you catch a high CP Pokemon, sure, that's great that it's high CP, but you should base it on the IVs of that individual Pokemon itself, instead of the CP that you caught it at. Because starting in the game, I know personally I always thought, oh, the highest CP Pokemon is obviously going to be the better CP Pokemon to train and level up in the game. But realistically, you want the Pokemon that you're going to have the most IV perfection on for your end game for Pokemon Go. Now, when we talk end game right now, all we're talking about is gyms, battling, and so on and so forth. But we know that battling is going to be coming in an update very, very soon. Well, at least hopefully. Yeah, I mean, like right now, you never know with Niantic, but I know it'll happen. It'll be a thing. That'll be sweet. And of course, gym battles right now. Having, for example, an 85% perfect Snorlax sitting on a gym is extremely effective in defending that gym, or even Dragonite or any other type of Pokemon that's generally a good defender, which we'll get into in a different video, with good IVs will be a good defender. Now once again, I will say it only approximately affects 10% of the total game on a Pokemon, but that is 10% that, for example, hardcore players are actually going to consider. Once again, when I look at my Pokemon, I don't go by CP, I go by best IVs, then I go by CP. And that's the way it should be, and most likely will end up being. So that's everything I have to talk about for today, guys. As I always say, drop a like for your boy Goblins, and I'll be back here with more Pokemon Go videos or Dark Souls 3 videos shortly. Once again, I'll have all those links down in the description for you guys to check out. We got the Pokey Assistant IV calculator, Pogo Profiles website, and the SILPHROAD, which tells you all about species stats in Pokemon Go. I find that the IV calculator on the SILPHROAD isn't that great, so just use it for referencing for species stats. So with that being said and done, take it easy, guys. Have have a general good, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out! All of a sudden, oh, shit, okay, yeah, I'll play Pokemon now. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's like all I can think of as far as finding this out. Also, keep in mind when you guys are keeping starters, of course, your starters don't make a huge difference in the game. And a lot of the time, depending on where you live, you may or may not see your